Hello and welcome to our business coaching session. How are you all doing? I have my baby here with me for a little bit of time just because we had a little overlap unexpectedly. He's sitting right here helping out. He loves Zoom calls. It's so hilarious. Hi, Dragan. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see some familiar faces here. Let me see. I have to see. Some of you are on camera, some not yet. Love it. Hello. Feel free to say hi in the chat to everyone as people are coming on. Hi, Sana, Melinda, Funshine, Jeep Girls. I don't think that's your proper name, but I'm saying hi anyways. Imani, Paula, Gabrielle, Melinda, Jordan, Leslie, Nida, Jordan. More people hopping on. This is so fun. Awesome, guys. So let me just think logistics for a second. I'm going to pull up the thread. So here's what we will do. I just posted the link in all the places. So what I would like to do first is I will pull up the question thread that I posted in the event so that we can see who's here of the people who asked the questions. Then we're going to go about it and get coached. And then, let me see, I have to, there we go. And then if there's still time, we can see if we can take questions or have anyone come on the hot seat right here as we're here, because this is what this is going, and please mute yourself if you're coming on, just so that the sound is going to be good for everyone. So what this is, it's a coaching session, right? I am going to coach a bunch of you and we'll see how many we will get through. I'm going to pick the challenges or the issues because to see what's most relevant for most projectors, and then hopefully most of you or a lot of you can relate to what's going on. What this is not is a Q&A, right? So I saw some questions are a little bit Q&A style. So for example, how come projectors always this or that? I'm not going to go in that. That's not coaching. That's like opinion asking. And I wanted to show you like the big difference, what is going on between coaching and the other thing would technically be considered more mentoring. Like if you're like, Alex, what should I do, you know? And personally, I don't really like going into what should I do. Sometimes that's appropriate when you're looking for mentorship or the opinion of your mentor to see like what's even possible. You do want to make sure that your mind can be expanded a little. There might be things that you've never thought about, right? But coaching is more very individualized, supporting you on a very personal level. So with that being said, I got the thread here, and I want to just lay it to the side for a moment to introduce myself while I give this baby more blueberries. It's blueberries that aren't messing everything up, you know, the kind of blueberries that make everything blue. We have those too, but not in my office. So for those of you who know me, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm going to say the same thing. My name is Alexandra Danieli, and I am a projector business coach. So I'm a projector, but I'm also a business coach for projectors. I'm also a business mentor, so I'm both, right? So I already kind of went into that distinction a little bit. I coach my clients, but this is more on a one-to-one level where we can go into this, like we are going to today. And then I also mentor. This happens more in programs where I teach what I've learned, right? So I used 5 years ago-ish in the summer, I started my own business as a gut health coach. And before that, I had a a tech startup, iPhone app startup with my manager and ex-husband, which went really, really well because we intuitively divided up our tasks, and it worked out perfectly. And we got it to 7 figures. We got to buy 2 homes in San Francisco, and one was a rental. And if you know the prices of the Bay Area, that means a lot, right? So that was really great. But I always had that belief that I couldn't do anything myself, because I kind of felt that weakness inside of me of like, oh my God, I don't know, I don't have that same driving force. And I knew nothing about human design back then, but I instinctively knew that I didn't have that driving force that he did as a will center manager. So let me see. My speaking language is not Estonian. Somebody said language to Estonian. Anyways, so I thought, but I was determined that I'm going to do this. I wanted to be a coach. I loved gut health. I still love gut health. My 10-year-old son, he had, as a baby, he had a lot of gut health issues. I had a lot of gut health issues that I needed to heal. So then I became a gut health coach. I did all the studies, the certification. And then I was so prepared to help people, and I didn't know how to get clients. Then I signed up for this beautiful strategy-based coaching program called Clients on Demand. And I got technically so good at everything, but I had a really hard time signing clients. It wasn't very projector friendly, I found out later. So then I changed what I was doing, and I changed niches. And then I found out about human design when I was in another one-year coaching container with Melanie and Layer in her Alpha Femme 1-year program. And everyone was talking about human design. I was like, what is that thing? And then I found it out. I'm a projector, and everything, when I started reading about it and I had a reading, everything started to make sense. It's like circuits in my brain and brain pathways connected, and I connected to my deeper power and my gifts, and like, oh my God, now I can be finally that superhuman that I was meant to be. And I was elated. Everything made sense. And then crept in the doubt, like, so how am I going to do this now? I have no idea, right? Everyone's doing Gen or manifestor style, but how am I going to do it as a projector? I have no idea. Nobody could tell me. I took another couple of projector courses, and then I started studying to get certified with Karen Curry Parker. So I started putting together the things more one-on-one to myself. But it was a lot, and I'm a 1-3 self-projected, so a lot of studying and trial and error is my way. Right, baby? And he's a little emo manifester, so it's so funny. I love human design, but I'm going to also tell you a couple of other things in a moment. But so over time, I had to learn everything myself of how to run a business as a projector and get clients the non-pushy way, because that is basically the only way we can succeed, and how to stay out of bitterness and all that kind of stuff. And first I did general human design stuff because it was just so fascinating. I did a lot of readings, some family readings. Then I went more into purpose work and into business stuff. And then a couple of years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I started working exclusively with business projectors, not even just helping projectors live a good life, but helping projectors grow their business, because I had learned so much about this. I just need to share. And as a 1-3, I continue to study, I continue to evolve, I continue to learn, and this is what I do. And I had my baby, he just turned 1, he's my 3rd child. I had him last year in December, so this year was a little more flying by the seat of my pants, but it was still a great year and a lot less work. But next year, 2024 is going to be a lot more strategized and deliberate. And he's biting me, you silly muffin. So, and I'm excited to actually get to work more again because I love working, right? So I did never resonate with this whole thing of projectors need to rest. I do need rest. I'm not a machine, but I have a ton of energy. I love my work. And I truly believe that when we have the right work, because we still have a sacral, right? The sacral gets excited about things and gives us energy. It's just not as consistent as for the generator type. So I guess I intuitively knew how to tap into that and do things. You could never in my life force me to do anything that I didn't like to do. So I guess that's been a good practice all my life to keep my sacral giving me energy, right? So I guess I'm lucky that I conditioned myself that way. And my parents both are projectors, so I could see from different angles what works and what didn't work. But my mom, even though she was not living as a projector, she always pushed me toward, you need to do what you love. You need to do what you love. You need to do what you love. So I guess that was hammered into me early on. So here we are. It's my 21. It's my third year of profitability in business, which is awesome because before I was already making money as a gut health coach and then emotional release coach, but I was spending so much more than was coming in, and I invested all of my savings into my business, and I never had a doubt. I never had a doubt that I could make it. It just got a little tight a few times. And I really had to tap into trust. I'm like, oh my God, we're doing this, aren't we? Because I want to keep doing this. And it always worked out. And I've managed to work with the most incredible coaches and mentors and continue to. And anyways, third year, 2021, 2022, 2023. 2021 was my first six-figure year. And then 2022 was my first, doubled that to 200K. And then this year we're close, but I also only worked a third of the time. So I consider that an increase, even though the net of the year is kind of the same as last year. But it's not always about the numbers, but I love using numbers because you can measure, right? You can measure numbers. And for me, money means how many people I've helped. And it also means on how many adventures I can go with my family and how I can support my children to have a childhood that they can remember, right? So this is just a little backstory, so you know where I'm at. Maybe you can resonate with some of it. Maybe other parts are not as much your journey, but I'm always striving to live as a person that shows possibility, right? I always want to make you see that being a projector is a superpower. I always want to have you see that it's possible, right? I'm a mom of three. I just had a baby this year. I did a lot of work with my newborn on my boob, right? I love having time for so many other things, and you can still have a multi six-figure business, right? And I don't even think like my prices are all the way up there. I'm not like charging 20K for private coaching or something, because if I did that, it would be even easier to get these numbers, right? But so with all of that being said, I welcome you to whatever stage you are at in your business. And I'm doing this session because I really want to support you guys and give you a chance to get to know me more and see what can be possible when we tap into our own inner strength. So with that being said, I want to see, I think I already saw at least one person who submitted a question. Can you give me, so I don't need to search through, can you give me a hint in the comments if you are here and you submitted a question in the thread in the Facebook group? I think I saw Andrea, right? But then beyond that, who is here, because I can only coach Gabrielle. Oh, okay, turned it into a smiley face. Okay, Gabrielle, let me see a question. I see you here. Okay, Gabrielle, since you're the first one. Okay, and then we have Leslie. Excellent. Perfect timing. The baby is getting picked up. Can you get his blueberries too? He's still having. Do you want to take the whole thing? Yeah. Bye-bye, baby. Thanks for helping. See you guys in a bit. The whole high chair is getting transported out. Imani too. Andrea, perfect. So we have a bunch of people here. That's perfect. And Dragan, you submitted on Instagram. Okay. Oh, Andrea. Okay, I guess Andrea posted first and I didn't see that. So we'll start. Andrea, Dragan, I don't know. Did I see your question on Instagram? I'm sorry if I didn't. Can you type it in the comments, please? So we'll go Andrea first. Do you want to repeat your question so that we can have it here on camera with your own words? Just unmute yourself and come on.
I believe it was, first of all, thank you.
Hi, Alexandra. It's a pleasure to be here. Can you
Hold
see
on
me?
a second, guys. Now we have two people. We'll get to all of you. Sorry, Gabrielle, my fault. I did want to start out with you, but then I saw Andrea posted her comment first. So let's go Andrea first and then have you in a moment, okay?
Yeah, I cannot find my question. I am looking for it because I'm very nervous of this. I am so excited.
I have your question here. So
okay, great.
Are you from Italy?
No, I'm from Argentina.
Oh, your name sounds so Italian.
Yeah, my family is from Italy. My grandparents.
Oh, I love Argentina. I've never been, but I'm gonna go one day.
Well, I am Argentinian, but I am living in Brazil nowadays.
Well, that also sounds marvelous, but yeah.
You can come anytime you want, of course.
So what I saw here, what you posted is you'd love some help with how to select my niche and how to overcome the blocking for showing up. You're a 5-1 SPP. I never know what people mean. Self-projected or splenic?
Self-projector.
Oh, yeah. I see your chart now. Excellent. All right. So let us start with that. I have a sense that these two might be connected, that you not selecting your niche or not being able to select your niche is also blocking you from showing up. But
exactly.
So since they're connected, so what would you like to get out of our coaching?
Well, I'd like to have more clearness, if that's the word, because I feel that I've been working for so much in different directions, and I am really desperately looking for one focus, because I feel completely burned out. I feel completely exhausted. I know that the only way of going out of that situation, if I found, a niche, a product, and I focus all my low energy in that, because I am the opposite as you. I could be not sleeping but on the beach all day, and for me it's very hard to focus on work. I love my work, but I don't have limits. I go from working a lot and burning myself out of not working at all. So I think that if we can, if I could be more clear about my niche and and where to put my energies, it will be extremely helpful for me today.
Love it. I'd love to help you with this.
Okay, thank you. I'm so happy.
And this is really great for any kind of coaching that you guys do with any coach ever. Just be really, really clear on what you want, because then you can be so focused and so targeted. So now it's like a map, right? Andrea told us where she wants to go, and now we're going to find like the little roads there. So perfect. So why is it important to you to find your focus and your niche?
Because I know that with my knowledge I could help a lot of people in a lot of different situations,
Mhm.
but I need to market myself because, as you said before, they are connected because I feel like I can offer so much that I don't know how to market myself, that and all that, a lot of the things that I can do like made me crazy about it, and I don't know how to communicate them. I don't want to confuse my audience. I don't want to and for me it's hard because I get so busy that after that I got paralyzed and I don't do anything because I start one thing, then I start another one, then I start another one with my 57K and then I cannot end anything. So I think that it's important for me to give me that direction. Okay, let's make one step at a time. Okay, let's focus on this, and after that I can change, but I need a starting point.
Okay. So why is it important to you to know how to market yourself? Why does that matter to you?
Well, because I know that I am very capable of helping people. I feel that in my body. I feel that the need of help people. And if I don't market myself, I cannot help people. And of course, I cannot earn money. I cannot uh, live as I want. I'm not now. I am in let's say an emergency situation that with all my my old patients finish their treatments, so I am with zero now. So I am like, okay, well, this is the moment that I need to rebirth in a kind of saying, okay, let's start one point at a time.
I love it. Perfect. So you're saying you want to help people and also earn money. Why does it matter to you? What is possible to you, Andrea, just focusing on you for a second? How do you feel when you help people and when you earn money with it?
I feel wonderful. I feel full of joy. I feel my chest like exploding of joy and of grace, because I really feel useful. I really feel happy for the person that I am helping. I am really I don't know, it's the best feeling ever that I have when I help someone, and that someone tells, oh, it was useful, or you helped me with this. It's like I earn heaven, for me it's missed a word, really.
Perfect. So when you find your niche and when you market yourself, how or when you know how to market yourself, how will you know that you've been successful?
I think that for me being successful, that's a projector thing. For me being successful is being in a place that I can live as I want, with the freedom as I want. So when I can help people and gain the amount of money that give me that freedom of living okay with my all my needs and all the things that I want to do, okay, I will be great. And I think that of that as the, let's say, a medium term goal, because after that, when I don't have this money, let's say, preoccupation, I really love to help more people in different ways, but I understand that there's like a stair we need to to walk. I don't know if I am explaining myself.
Yeah, I think so. So living successfully so that you can live like you want with the financial means as well.
Yeah, and for me it's really important for helping people because I know that I can. I've been in such a challenging and hard and difficult situations, that with all that experience, let's say life experience, and with all the knowledge that I have, that all my years, 43 years of study more or less, so I really know that I can help a lot of people that could be in any situation that I pass through, and help them pass for that in a more, let's say, lighter or a better way. And I have this call to, I need to help people, because for me it was such challenge and horrible. So if I can really help someone, it makes me really happy.
I love it. So it's your own happiness and feeling useful and feeling successful. And then you're saying you have this joy, your chest explodes with joy. That's, by the way, that's your G center and your authority.
Yeah.
So what for the next step is for the people who you help, how does it change their lives when you help them, and what is the effect on their lives and on their families?
Generally, I help them like to connect with themselves, with their own authenticity, and I help them to get a new vision and a new position. Sometimes that repositioning means changing the job or changing the way that they relates with the members of the family, let's say communication and emotional intelligence. So I can help them to deal better with themselves so they can deal better with others. And that impacts in a way that they can live more lighter, they can be more flowy in their lives, with more with less stress and less more happiness. It's I have some clients that they say that they gained balance with me, working with me, because now their life were unbalanced, and now after working with me, they have this balance, that they can know themselves, they can manage better the situations.
So
Well, it's it's broad. It's broad.
Give me some examples of what is possible for them in their life. Like, give me some situations in their lives that can improve, like
Well,
parenting, partnering, jobs, whatever.
yeah, well, I have helped different persons in different situations, but I have, for example, a client that she was really unhappy at her work, and we worked together, and she developed the confidence and the courage needed to take a risk and to really search for another position that was really better than values her for what she is, because I also helped her to understand who she is and what's better for her. And so that was really life changing for her, because now she's in a job that she loves. I have another client that she was, all the aspects of her life were unbalanced, like her work was a mess, her personal life was a mess, and little by little we were working on different aspects of also knowing herself and position herself differently from, for example, in front of his family, her family, in front of his colleagues, in front of his bosses, so she can now feel that she has she's driving her own life, you know.
And what's possible for her when she's driving her own life? How does her life look different?
How does her life look different? Now she is a balanced person. She is calm. She is able to make decisions with her own certainty, with his confidence, with you know, yes, I can do this, or I don't want to do that, and stays like confidence, and stays firm in her decision. Because before that, it was difficult for her to say, for example, no, or it was difficult for her to, I don't know, parents ask something, and she wanted to do that, and it was, the conflict was a conflict for her. Now she can deal with that in a very natural and flowy way.
Perfect. So when you imagine your clients having these kind of results based on the work with you, how does that make you feel in your body?
calm. I feel grateful. I feel again. I feel useful. I feel happy for them.
Where in your body are you feeling this?
Here on my chest,
Okay, how does your chest feel?
warm.
Warm. Anything else?
And like excited, you know, when you feel like this bubbling effect.
Perfect. So which problem gives you that kind of excitement and warmth in your heart to solve?
I think that that give people the I don't know, the peace, maybe this state of inner peace that you can this state of for in a moment for of inner peace that you are calm to take decisions, to make decisions, and in other side this confidence of I can do whatever I can, whatever I want, you know, I can do this self assurance, this courage. I think that those words, like this inner peace, this inner balance, and also this courage and this motivation of yes, I can do that, or I will do this.
Perfect. So inner peace, confidence, I can do what I want, courage, and inner balance.
Yeah.
That is something that you as the specialist, and I know a lot of you need to hear this, you as a specialist know that that's what they need, but they don't. They are not at the party saying, I need more inner balance. They're at the party saying to their best friend, I need to find the love of my life, or I really want to find the love of my life, or I really need to find a better job. I really need to find a job that I love, right? So what you're mentioning here, those are kind of like the things you help them get so that they can get what they want, right? So we have to like shift a little bit out of thinking like, here's what I know as a specialist that they need versus what they care about. So what problem, when they come back to you and say, Andrea, finally I got the job where I'm valued, or finally I found the love of my life. I haven't heard you mention love, so I don't think that might be not your subject, but it might be. Or
Oh,
finally,
well, but I understand. And for example, there's a client that she wasn't speaking with his father, and now she has a great relationship with him. So it's in a way of important, the love of life of a parent too. So it's okay.
so what problem for the client, what problem that the client cares about solving, do you feel this warmth in your heart about?
I think that is dealing better with the stress and the I how to say angustia with this anxiety, this agony when you are suffering. I don't have the word. It's been a long time since I don't speak English. Sorry.
Oh, your English
And
is
this agony of this stress, this ugly feeling that you cannot deal with something, and that something could be a lot of different things. But when you are in that desperation, in that anxiety, in that unbalanced feeling, you only want like balance and peace. And I think that could be the core of the things, because
But what do they want the balance and peace for? You know, people don't just walk around and say, I
yeah,
want
yeah,
balance and peace. They want it because
yeah,
they want something. What is that?
exactly. I think that they want quality of life, and they want to live a plenty and a meaningful life.
Meaning,
They want well-being. I want to be in peace. I want to be well with myself and with others. I want to be well in my job, and not so stressed, and not so mad, and not so angry. I think that maybe Yeah, and I totally agree with you that because of that, what it's been so hard for me, because people is not looking for peace. They are looking for peace, but they don't know that they are looking for peace, and that's a tricky thing.
So may I switch into mentoring mode for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So there's two types of marketing. There's many types of marketing, but there's two main distinctions at a higher level where we have like it's the getting away from. People buy because they want to get away from something. Like, I want to have no more anxiety. I want to have no more inner turmoil, right? When you market toward that, you speak usually to the people who have a very strong association with that thing, right? So I like to draw a line in the middle. Then they make a decision. I'm like, F this shit. I'm ready for, right? Because here, their nervous system is so in fight or flight a lot of the time, they often can't even access what they want instead. They just know that they don't want to live in hell anymore. These people still need help, but they will be much harder to convince because they need convincing, right? They haven't made the decision yet of I want that instead, because their nervous systems are in a hard state. They're really just trying to get by every day. So when you market to this getting away from, and as soon as you say stress and anxiety, you are speaking to these people, right? So as a projector, from my experience in working with a lot of projectors, and because we don't have that like, we want to use our energy in a wise way because our sacral is undefined. So for me, using my energy in a wise way also is in marketing to speak to the people who are ready for the change. And that means no more mentioning the negative associations, right? And really thinking about what, after their middles, like we draw the line here, they have decided, now I'm ready for the love of my life, right? Now I'm ready to get that job. You don't want to work with people who are like, I'm in a job of hell, right? So they're like, oh my God, right? You can't do much there. You want to speak to the people like, I want to find the job that I care about, right? And even speaking about quality of life and having a meaningful life, that is still too broad, especially early on in business. And this might be counterintuitive, but it's the truth. The more you can specialize early on in business, the faster you will find clients. So what you really want to focus on and drill into is, what are your values? Like, Andrea, what do you care about? Do you care about a job you love? Do you care about money? Do you care about finding a life partner? What is it? What interests you the most?
Personally,
Yeah.
for me, the first thing is finding my place in the world, as I say, that it is working with something that I love. And in second place, it will be the freedom of, for me, it's very important, freedom of saying, let's say, having spare time or leisure time to, I don't know, to do my activities, to study. I always suffered that a lot from the conventional working system, because I always wanted to do a lot of different things, and I hate, well, hate is a strong word, but in a sense, I hate when people don't have time to do the things that they love because of the job. So for me, freedom, and for me, doing the things, not just job, but doing the things that we love, that we are happy, makes us better persons, and makes that we can contribute to the world in a better way. So I think that that's something important for me, because if I love what I am doing, I am giving the best of me. And if everyone can do whatever they want, and with that pleasure, with that high energy, the world will be definitely a better place.
Do you see the irony here?
Yeah.
Because if you allowed yourself to do the work that you most love doing, you would be able to give the best of you too.
Yeah.
So how does that feel to you on a scale of 1 to 10 in excitement to help people to find the work that they love doing?
Wow, that for me is like an 8. It's good. It's amazing.
And what if you allowed yourself to do just that?
I don't know. I think that the key for doing that could be that I can think about it as not as forever, because I know deeply in my heart that I could help people in other situations that maybe could be useful too. And I think because of that it's been so hard for me. But I really think that that could be a good starting point. And if you allow me to add something, as you were saying about my irony, let's say that way, I understood why I had such a different time marketing myself, because I could spend all the time dealing with clients, but I hate like record some videos for Instagrams or writing something to market myself, because I prefer deal with people and help people, and that's it for me. That's my pleasure. That's what my pleasure is. And I know that I need to connect this pleasure with the pleasure of sharing information, just to call that people, of course. But well, I am still searching.
Well, what if you're already helping people with your marketing content?
I don't know how to do that.
Just a thought. I'm going to have some programs coming up on that this year again, but I also in my course Selling for Projectors, I go into that a little bit, but yeah, if I started that whole thing, that would be a whole big can of worms right now. But just how does it feel in your body if you feel like, oh, my marketing is just an extension? I am here to help people. I am here to express myself. I am here to show what how I can help people get the work that they love or find the work that they love. And what if somebody wants to do it with me? They will invite me because they will be able to see me and recognize me from my marketing content. And those who don't, I still help them with my marketing content. How does that feel in your body?
Better.
So I know a lot of you also need to hear this. You are not signing your life away by picking a niche, right? You can
that's a great statement.
Yeah. And businesses evolve, right? Like I said, I went from gut health coach to emotional release coach to general human design coach to projector business coach. I have a feeling at some point in my life, I will do something with relationships because I love love and relationships. And I've learned so much in my life about that. But it's not the time right now. And right now, I love doing this. And my business is allowed to change. And the people that love me for my authentic expression, not because I'm putting on a mask and saying things that I should say, but saying things that really matter to me, the people who read my content, some of them in the future might not resonate with my content, but they will still value me. And then they might say, oh, Alex is doing something different now. That's not relevant to me anymore, but I know someone who I can recommend her to because she's awesome. And I know she's authentic and I've followed her for years, right? So it's really about just, and here's the thing about picking for you.
Yeah.
Your G center, is this niche for now at this point in your life? How does your G center react to this niche of helping people find the work they love?
I am excited about it.
Okay.
maybe we have an answer.
We do. So clarity on my focus and niche and where to put my energy. Does
Yeah,
that seem
and
like a good area
yeah,
to put your energy?
yeah, and that could be like not just helping people to look for a job, but also to be in contact with their purpose, with their talents. Could be. Oh, I am trying to broaden myself again, because for me, it's not just to to look for a job, but sometimes it's about entrepreneurship or about knowing yourself to, okay, I am good at this, so I can look for a job or I don't know, an entrepreneurship that I could develop this talent, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that I'm really excited. It's, you know what, I need to talk about this to just to hear myself
Exactly.
saying that. Yeah.
Journaling will be great for you as well. So excellent. Does this feel
Well,
good?
thank you. Yeah, I am so relieved right now.
Yay! I love it.
Thank
We
you
did
so
it.
much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for the patience, and sorry for my bad English, but I'm really happy right now. So thank you very much.
We love your inglés. Es muy perfecto.
Ay, gracias a todos. I am doing my best. Thank you so
Oh, you're
much.
amazing. Thanks,
I am really
Andrea. This was
grateful.
lovely. And I hope this was also helpful
Yeah.
for other people here, because I know the niche thing is such a thing for us projectors. Let's have Gabrielle hop on next. Thanks.
Hello.
Hi, Gabrielle. Nice to meet you. How
Nice
are
to
you
meet you.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for doing this with us this morning, or it's morning for me.
You're welcome. How may I support you best today? What would you like to get out of it?
Well, my question in the chat was about finding new clients. I just started like 2 weeks ago. I had my first client. This is being a coach has been my goal for so long, and I am finally following through with it. And I have this sense that who is meant for me will come through for me. And I'm pretty solid in that. However, I've had 3 leads, one of which booked with me, and we did a second call yesterday, but the other two canceled. And on one hand, again, who's meant for me will come to me. And also reflecting back on what you said earlier about they may be in stress and anxiety, and thinking about working with a coach is like not, an option for them. And that may be why, like, when it came down for it, they didn't show up to their appointment. But taking all into consideration and going forward, I'm just wondering how to basically like fill my schedule, but at a pace that works for me, that doesn't like overwhelm me. I mean, I don't want to go from 0 to 10. I'm more of the person, I'm an emotional, and I've been really tapping into that and like riding these waves. I also have a full-time job as an emergency room nurse, and during this, I'm trying to transition out of it. But that pulls my energy a lot when I'm in it, and I'm working on managing my energy around my day job. All that to say, like, how do I find new clients when I don't necessarily have like a specific business name or like a specific message that I am wanting to put out on social media? All I know is that I want to guide women to their true authenticity, and that way they can find for themselves what is the most aligned path for them. And yeah.
Find most aligned path. Because why do they want to find their most aligned path? Why does that matter to them?
Because they may be having a call to change or feeling like internally, this is not this is not my life. How did I get here? And how do I get to that point over there? And you're having stirrings and inklings, but you don't really know how to get over there when you're over here.
Yeah.
Following intuition, essentially.
Sorry?
Following their intuition.
Okay. Why would they want to follow their intuition?
To feel more joy in life on a daily basis.
Why is
To
that
live.
important? Why is that important to them?
Because joy can attract abundance and you can live a more easeful life.
You muted yourself accidentally. Hold on, hold on, hold on. You're muted. You're back.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I got a call. My phone's supposed to be on Do Not Disturb, so I'm not sure why that happened. Sorry about that.
So more joy daily, more abundance, and what?
Because I feel like living in those energies allow a person to be more grounded. So when the waves of stress and things wash over you, you're not so thrown off center, and you can handle life in a way, I guess, more effective way, easeful.
Handle life with more ease. Okay. I have to keep digging. Why do they want to handle life with more ease?
Because maybe they haven't yet, or they're stuck in in other people's beliefs that aren't theirs. Like one of my clients, her mother wound is really, really prominent. And every time she has a success, she'll filter it through the lens of, but this doesn't mean success for my mom. And that's not what she taught me. Or, I have 3 kids. I'm not supposed to have time for myself. Like these limiting beliefs that we're taught growing up in society that aren't true. All these women that are living through them, they may be experiencing a sense of unease and but this doesn't have to be the life that they live. Like we don't have to live under those.
So what do they want?
More freedom.
For what? What kind of freedom?
Financial, emotional.
And when they have more freedom, financial and emotional, what is possible for them?
Whatever. I feel like when in those moments where you have a more clear pathway, whether it be financial, emotional, whatever, relational, job wise, you have more access to your intuition and you can follow those breadcrumbs a little bit more. You can visualize the breadcrumbs, you can feel your intuition coming through, and then you can make aligned decisions for what's best for your life.
These are all still processes, though, right? Using your intuition. Why does it matter to you, to them? What do they want? What do they want to use these decisions for? Like, what do they ultimately, they don't say at the party to their best friend after a glass of wine, oh my God, I really need to use my intuition more, right? What do they say that they want at the party after this glass of wine or two?
Well, I guess it depends on what is their true dream. Like, is it finding their soulmate? Is it finding a job that's more aligned to their life? A healthier relationship? Being a better mother, parent. Not better, but being a more have motherhood work better for them rather than being a slave to the whole process. I guess the end result is whatever their dream is, but making it so they know it's actually possible to achieve that.
So now you answered your question of how to get more clients. You just have to pick, and I'm just saying have to very gently from experience as a business coach and also as a projector business coach, you'll have to pick which one matters most to you. And that's how you get clients. Is it living their dream, soulmate, healthier relationships, being a better parent?
Okay. So in your opinion, me saying something like getting in touch with your inner divine feminine or dark feminine to help you live the life of your dreams, is that too broad?
Are you familiar with ayahuasca?
Yes. I've never done it, but I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
So how would it sound to you if I say to you, you're going to drink the most gnarliest tea you've ever tasted, and then you're going to vomit your stomach out for 4 hours straight, possibly be in pain for the entire night, but in the end, you'll feel better. You're going to pay me $1,000 for it.
Okay, so I have to sell something a little more pretty so that people are willing to go through the darkness.
Yeah, and this is in my programs, in my teachings, I call this the in front of the curtain and the behind the curtain thing. So you're going in front of the curtain is none of their business what we do with them behind the curtain, right? And my coach she calls it the party and the prep. So when you are selling, do you have kids?
No, but I have nieces and nephews.
You know kids. So you're preparing a birthday party for them. So you're going to tell them, okay, we're going to have this birthday party. We're going to have to clean up the house for 2 hours. We're going to have to go shopping. We're going to have to bake the cake. You're going to have a shower. And then we're going to have to vacuum everywhere. And then we're going to have the party. How excited is that toddler for their birthday party?
Not at all.
What do you have to say to the toddler to get excited for the birthday party?
There's going to be cake and presents.
That's all they need to know. That's how you keep the engine going.
Okay, I see. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you so much. It makes so much sense now.
You're welcome. And there's, of course, more refinement to all of this, but this is the very, very basic recipe. You are going to have to do your soul searching of if you were to go to a lonely island for the rest of your life, which is your favorite food? Living their dream, soulmate, finding their soulmate, healthier relationship, and or being a better parent. Take the one that is most exciting to you and that you care most about, because that will be the one that you have most consistent energy for and you continue wanting to talk about it. Then telling them in your marketing content, and as a business, you're going to have to market. At one point, you might be referral based, but it just comes with the territory of having a business, is marketing yourself. In your marketing content, show how it's possible. Not that it's possible for them to get there, but how it's possible for them to get there. And then talk about the cake and not about the prep. That's your basic recipe.
Talk about the cake, not about the prep. I love that. Thank you so much. That's so helpful. Thank you.
Is this good? Do you feel good about this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you look very excited. Perfect.
I am. Thanks.
You're so welcome. Excellent. So let's go with, now we have, okay, Dragan, we're going to do you in a moment. I know you have patience. Then we have Leslie. Do we have Leslie still here?
Hi.
Hi,
Hold on,
Leslie.
let me put on my camera.
Excellent. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Glasses. How may I best support you? What would you like to get out of our coaching?
I wanted to know how to get in the genius zone and how to tell how you're even in it, because I'm not that familiar with it. I don't think I've ever experienced it.
Perfect. Just taking a note. So your genius. So you want to find your genius zone, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a real estate agent. I'm kind of new to being a real estate agent. I've always done admin work, always worked in an office setting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. I find it kind of boring, but I know how to do it, so I do it. And then real estate, I decided to get my license because I just wanted to make more income, unlimited income, but getting clients is a little bit challenging and attracting clients and just trying to figure out if I even like it.
What's your authority?
Emotional.
Okay. What is your first sense that you've done it for a little while, being a real estate agent? What is your first sense of, do you like it?
I like it. I get very exhausted after dealing with people and networking. I have to like go into hiding after for like a couple of days.
So you like some of it, but not all of it, it sounds like.
Correct. Yeah.
So why does it matter to you to find your genius zone?
Because I think a lot of work is boring, and I find myself getting bored with a lot of things. And sometimes I feel like I don't even like working and like I just want to be leisure.
Okay. But that didn't answer why it matters to you to find your genius zone.
Um, It matters to me because I just want to live like what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
I
Sounds
feel like the more I focus on what my purpose is, the more I feel like I'm just getting even more lost.
Hmm. Where in your body are you trying to access this from, your purpose?
My heart,
Okay. But when you're trying to find it, where are you looking for it? Are you looking for it with like knowledge, mental-based concepts?
knowledge. I'm also very torn between like focusing on passive income and digital marketing because sometimes I'm just very money focused also right now. And so I think there's a financial block somewhere
How come you're money focused?
because I want to reach a point where I have financial freedom. I don't have to worry about my income.
Why does that matter to you?
I think it frees up a lot of opportunities for myself, and I will just be more relaxed. Won't have to worry so much about other things.
What are you worrying about?
Finances?
I Are you in a tight spot with finances, or are you just generally more worried about finances?
Like more worried about my future with
Mm.
finances.
What worries you the most there?
It worries me that I don't know where my finances are going to come from.
Mm-hmm. But right now you have food and a roof over your head and things.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I'm not worried about like now. I guess I'm just worrying about the future. And then, yeah, I'm just also processing myself right now. Like maybe I shouldn't be so worried.
Ah,
And then at the end of the day, I'm always like, wait, none of this even matters. So then it's like, then I get annoyed with myself for like worrying about it.
perfect. What a cycle. So when you worry about things, what are the things you worry about that you have no control over?
I'm trying to think. Uh, I'm not really sure.
Your brain already knows that we're going to trick it.
It probably does.
Yeah. So when you generally worry about money, what is a thing about money that you worry about?
Oh, not having enough. But I do have enough. It's just I have to like make my mind or trick it to be okay with it, I feel like, to feel like I have enough.
So how would you do that?
Shifting my mindset.
Well, what does your mind need to know?
Mm, what does it need to know? That I'm fine, that I'm alive and healthy, and I should be grateful.
So you have enough money right now, but you're worried that in the future you might not.
Or how I'm gonna make it while doing what I love.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Sounds like you need to work with Andrea. Worried about how I'm going to make it doing what I love.
Which is like probably doing traveling, just being myself. Like, how can I get paid just by being myself?
Well, what are your gifts? And
I'm
don't
trying to
say
figure
and
that
don't
out
say
also.
admin and paperwork because you say that you find that boring.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't really quite know what my gifts are.
What is something, are you a 2-line?
I'd have to check. I think I'm a 3-1. One second, one second, one second. It'll be right here somewhere. Okay. Definition, inner authority, profile, 1-3 actually.
Oh, 1-3, like me. Perfect. So what do you like to study? What interests you to study?
There's so many topics. Like all my tabs are just different topics. Just so many different topics. Like from, and so I'm not like an expert in any topic because there's just so many topics.
That's okay. But what interests you?
Food, traveling. Mm, I like food a lot.
Are you good at cooking or recipe creation or
I'm
what?
good at cooking, but I don't even like eating my own cooking. I like other people eating my cooking.
Okay. So what do you like to study about food?
I don't like studying it really. I just like looking at it and tasting it. I love eating out, like to different restaurants. Um, I like going to nice places, you know. I like nice settings, nice atmospheres.
Okay. So if we split this up a little bit, yes, we can get paid for being ourselves, right? But there's different things. So when we want to get paid, and that's either in a job setting or as an entrepreneur, it's usually because when we get paid, it's because we do something for others, right? Or we create some, like if you're an artist, for example, you create something that another person finds amazing and wants to buy, whether that's music or a painting or photography or something, or a service, you know? So getting paid for something is usually where you do something for others. Your creativity can be part of it. And I consider anything that you really love doing for others also creativity. Just anything that comes naturally through you, right? And then there's also the part of living life, right? Some people get paid to go to restaurants and eat, right? Food critics. Some people get paid for traveling, so it is possible, but then they do it for someone else, right? The food critic goes to a restaurant to evaluate the food and then share with the world his opinion on it, right? So that is, if you think about it that way, and yes, you do love traveling and eating and nice surroundings, but do you have any idea, or have you experienced it before in your life, or when have you experienced it in your life where you enjoyed doing something for others that makes you feel good?
Yeah, I get asked a lot of advice on just guidance. And I think it's because I grew up kind of quickly. So I'm 24, and all my friends, they're kind of like always asking me for guidance on how I accomplish something. Um, or I get told I'm very like wise for my age or just an old soul because I am kind of like a grandma. But I do like hearing that and helping them how I can.
Perfect. So what kind of guidance are they looking for?
Relationships and just being told just straight out forward what they need work on
You mean personal work?
themselves, in themselves. Like if they're kind of like messed up inside, if they have like certain trauma issues or bad coping mechanisms, like they're drinking too much, and it's kind of self-destruction, I'll point it out, especially if they're like a close friend, but I'll just tell them like a couple of times if they're kind of, messing up in their life. And then if they keep complaining about the same thing, then I won't say anything else, or I will probably just unfriend them slowly. Because if you're asking me for advice and you're not taking it, then it gets kind of frustrating.
Oh my God, that sounds like me. I've always said that. You can complain to me once, but if you're not doing what I told you to do, then don't complain to me again.
Right, yeah, it's the same way with me.
Perfect. So when people ask you for guidance in their relationship or how to accomplish something in their lives, and they recognize you and ask you for this, and you share something, how does it feel in your body?
It feels nice to be heard and they're actually taking the advice and it actually got them to where they wanted to go, or I help point them in a direction. And it's nice because they see me as like inspirational, because I did accomplish some things that usually people my age don't accomplish, without going to college. So it's nice taking a different path and showing them that it can be done.
Where do you feel this in your body right now?
In my heart.
And how does your heart feel?
It feels happy, like warm.
Does that feel like something you want to do more of?
Like guide or counseling or coaching?
Does it give you energy?
I'm not quite sure. I guess I'll have to explore more.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of people unloading their problems on me.
This is a boundary thing. We're just talking purely about the process of being recognized for your guidance and advice.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Like, let's say you had a line of people out the door with people hungering for your advice, and each one of them will only ask you once, and then like a Buddha, and then they're lining up for the Buddha. Then the Buddha tells them the advice, and they all go and do the thing, and they change their lives, and their family's life change with them, and they become insanely happy, and they report back to you and say, "Holy God, Leslie, you changed my life with that advice that you gave me." Like,
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be awesome. That even sounds great to me.
well, there you have it. And where do you feel that in your body?
Like my whole like chest area.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So does that answer your question of how to know and how to tell when you're in your genius zone?
Kind of, yeah. It helps give me a direction on like where to go and what to follow.
Perfect. And even if you have your G center undefined, or even if you have emotional authority, you can still use your chest, your heart. Like for every human, the heart is a very strong compass. And with the emotional authority, you want to know, just like, especially with decisions such as these, that it is a calm, grounded knowing in your body over time. You get through the more extroverted time of your wave to the more introverted time of your wave, back to neutral. Maybe if you have multiple waves, you wait them all out, and then you have that calm, grounded knowing in your body of, yeah, that feels really good. Still,
Yeah.
that's when that's when you know your emotional authority is a yes to something, but you can still use your heart for guidance as well. It's like, oh, if this feels like this in my body, that's a forward. That gives me energy. That makes me feel good, right? Because yes, eating in restaurants and traveling makes you also feel good, but you want to find the activity you can do for others that makes you feel good, because that's what we get paid for. If you want to get paid for that, right?
Yeah, I see now. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope this was helpful.
It was, thank you.
Wonderful. So now we have Imani. Martine, are you still on?
Hi, I'm here.
I hear you. Can you get yourself on camera? There
I'm
you
on
are.
camera.
Are you driving? Excellent. Perfect. Wasn't coming through yet. Here we
I am on a cross-country trip to LA
From where?
from Connecticut to LA.
Holy cannoli. That's a long drive.
Yes.
Safe travels. Where are you at right now?
I am somewhere in Illinois, I think.
Wow. And you have your plant in the back and everything looks like you're moving.
I am relocating. That was actually in my response in the Facebook page. I'm relocating for my job. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher, and I love doing it. And I am actually really surprised that I am able to make a living out of this. I work with Disney, and so I'm relocating to the Burbank office right now.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Excellent. Oh yeah, I think I remember reading this that you're relocating. So how can I support you? What would you like to get out of our coaching?
I Yes, Disney's very innovative and very open, but I still feel with the Kundalini yoga, it's not something that they're very open to. Yoga, yes, but I think the kind of yoga that I do is very different and I guess strange, if you want to call it. So I think I'm taking very baby steps as to getting them to open their mind about it. I'm not just the wellness team, but the global benefits team. So I'm also helping to create, I guess, what the benefits are for Disney employees at large and what that looks like in their benefits package. I don't know if that's really something that I want to lean into. I think I want to eventually work for myself and not have as much red tape as there is in the corporate world to move around and do the things that I want to do. I have been doing my yoga business and coaching business, if you want to call it, both on the side, and not. I haven't been very successful as far as the financial aspect of things go. I definitely use it for myself. I feel that I do have some blocks as it pertains to my own success and some trauma I need to get over in being successful. And I would really love to find my own path and not get burnt out doing it. Something that really like energizes me, that I know that I can go the long haul with.
So how may I best support you with that?
I guess being a projector, in my past experiences, I've definitely come across just in community and other places where I give of myself and helping to support other people and their projects, and even in relationships as well, where it's not really reciprocated. And I really want to find a place where I'm appreciated for what I'm doing, but it's also reciprocated as well.
And how may I support you with that?
I'm not sure.
What do you need right now? What's the first thing that you need for that?
I guess to know that I'm on the right path, doing the right thing.
Hmm. How will you know when you're on the right path, doing the right thing?
Things are working out, things have a flow to it, things, I'm energized and I'm learning and growing and thriving.
Is that happening right now?
Actually, yeah. I'm making a huge move, which I feel is a big plus. Moving to California, big difference from Connecticut, so I'm a little, I guess, anxious and a little bit worried about that. But things are kind of tight right now. But every time things come down to the wire, I need to pay something. Somehow the money shows up, it comes through. I don't know.
Funny, right? How that goes. Is that a sign for you also that you're on the right path and supported by the divine?
Yeah, I would love a little bit more cushion though, and not to be so, I guess, anxious as to, is this going to work out? Am I going to make this next deadline for, the moving costs? So when, I have all my stuff in the car right now, but this is a very small fraction of it. And, the movers have the rest of my stuff and I still need to pay them in order to deliver it. So I'm like, oh, am I going to have money for that delivery? And it's close to when I need to pay my next month's rent at the place that I just got. So I'm like, there's a lot happening and I'm just in a wonder of how it all is going to play out. And I don't want to fall behind. And I just started.
What an exciting video game. What is your authority?
Splenic.
Okay. So if you ask your spleen and before your mind kicks in, your spleen has like this immediate knowing in the moment before the brain gets active. If we're asking your spleen, how can you create more cushion right now?
My YouTube channel.
How so?
I guess speaking more into creating a program, how Kundalini yoga works. I'm very, very much into energy, how energy flows, and the reciprocity in the giving and receiving of energy. So I guess to speak about that and use the vehicle of Kundalini yoga to kind of bring it into, bring it down into like a third dimensional, this is what you do to actually get the energy flowing, but also really go into the philosophy of it, of like why it works. But I guess creating programs in my own way, because other people do the same thing, but.
And how does your YouTube play a part in this?
I haven't started my YouTube channel. Well, I did, but I only have like one video. And I don't know. I guess I'm camera shy. I think too much about what other people think about me. Thinking I'll say the wrong thing or get challenged for what I say or mess up. I really want to become a speaker on such things.
So may I say a couple things about this?
Sure.
So the cushion building and your own business, that's like a long-term project, right? So building it up, creating an audience, creating a community that will take a moment, right? But may I help you shortcut the inner piece of this?
Please.
All right. So the version of you who is sitting in the car right now, afraid of what people think and all the things that you just said, right? That's the version who has done so well and who's gotten you all the results that you have so far. And that's the version who is driving to LA now to work in a huge corporation doing good. You know, you've done so many years of studying. You are so deep into this subject. You're a specialist in this. You have your own way of handling energy and knowing kundalini and energy and yoga, and you have so much to give to the world. And this version who is sitting right here, right now, has done so well. So I want you to give yourself some credit right now for like, holy cow, look how far I've come with all the hard shit that I've gone through in my life. And then invite this version to upgrade into your next version. Who is the version of you who doesn't give a flying F about what people say, because you know what's true. And you are here. Your vision is so much bigger than those little blah blahs in your head from people who don't know their shit and who don't care about this work and who only want to like throw sticks into your bicycle so that you don't keep going. But you have bigger things to do. So the version of you who is the speaker, who puts out YouTube videos, who's not camera shy anymore, who doesn't care, who knows that when people say things about your stuff or about you, that is just their story and it has nothing to do with you. Who is that version of you? Like, can you feel her inside?
I have like big lump in my throat right now.
Perfect.
I feel like I want to cry. I feel like I'm stuck in that first part of giving myself credit for how much I've gone through.
Oh my God. Give yourself
Um,
credit right now. Let's do it right here. Tell us why you deserve this.
Because I'm breaking the cycle of family not recognizing or even supporting any part of my dream. Never giving me credit for anything that I've done, even things that I have done, making it feel small, making me feel small, never allowing me to just shine and be who I am. And it's hard because I'm leaving them all behind, and really not having any of their support.
Tell me how you overcame this. Tell me the qualities inside of you and the values and what you tapped into to overcome all of this.
I've overcome addiction. I've overcome almost being homeless. I've overcome anxiety and talking bad about myself, to myself. I've overcome financial stresses and just driving out here to California with, you know, having to spend money on my car just to like, all right, I'm getting it on the road and don't pay attention to any of the lights that are lighting up right now on the dashboard and keep going. And funny enough, they disappeared.
That's
um,
right.
um, I've overcome other people's opinions of me, whether good or bad, to stand in my own truth and what I feel about myself.
And which qualities have you used to overcome these things?
I'm persistent.
Hmm.
Um, I am loving despite it all. I'm open-hearted. I'm caring. I'm a good listener. I'm funny. um, I have a reverence for nature. I'm nature loving. Um, I recognize and celebrate the little things.
Mm. See, all of these, first of all, do you see that there's nothing wrong with you?
I guess I still feel there's so much more work to do.
I mean, this is life, right? And this is being human, but do you see that there's nothing wrong with you? You have accomplished so much already in your however many years you've lived, and you have all these amazing qualities that we're going to focus on, because we automatically also, unfortunately, focus too much on the other ones, but I don't want to put focus on those, right? Because that's not, those will always be a flavor. It's like putting salt in your dessert, right? If you have a dish that's only sweet without any like tang or without any salt, that tastes shitty, right? So these other parts are always going to be part of it, but you have all these amazing qualities that I want you to remind yourself of, right? And even if you're driving across Illinois and then whatever other states you go, by the time you come to Nevada, if you're making it through Nevada, I want you to be fluent in I am all the good things, you know, restate them to yourself and feel them in your heart. And then that next level version of you, the version of you who creates her own courses, who doesn't give a fuck about people, who has a bigger mission, who helps the world on a bigger scale, who is a public speaker. What qualities does she just need to add to the list here?
She's confident.
Mm-hmm.
She's focused.
Mm-hmm.
She's organized.
Mm-hmm.
She has a plan.
Mm-hmm.
She has boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
She's balanced in her work and self-care and play and fun.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good partner. And she She knows how to reciprocate when it's given to her.
Mhm.
She's a fluent speaker, clear. She's inspirational.
You already are that, though. From the list that you mentioned earlier, all the things you've overcome, that's already on the old list.
Um, she's uplifting.
I feel like you already are that already, no? Okay. You're just adding all your existing qualities already, which is great. And you can
Okay.
have plenty of time to think about all of this on your drive, right? But this is your only work right now that I would focus on if I was your doctor and I would recommend something to you. This is what I said. This is what I would say. This is your homework to focus on your confidence, being focused, being organized, making a plan, and having boundaries, and balancing your work, play, fun, and self-care. Knowing how to be a good partner, that will also already happen when you focus on these other pieces, right? Because when you have boundaries and you know how you make yourself happy and you love yourself and confidence comes from loving yourself, right? Then you're automatically a good partner. May I recommend a book for you? Maybe you've read it already, but it's one of my favorites that I've been digging deeper into right now.
Sure.
For this piece is okay. Where's the title in my head? Self-compassion, and something around the lines of the proven power of being kind to yourself. I think that's what the book is called. So even maybe you have Audible on your drive, or you can find a free version of that book on YouTube for your drive. I think it might be really, really fun for you because it's very supportive for strengthening that that self-compassion that brings the confidence, right?
Yeah.
And so
I know I have had many issues being compassionate to myself. And just because that's how I learn, I trial and error a lot.
are you a 1-3?
I'm a 3. I put it in the Facebook.
Oh,
5, 3, 3,
oh,
5.
5. Oh, see, that makes total sense. The 3 is all about your trial and error and about being a freaking goofball and a party monster. And the 5 is all about, are you a party monster?
I'm such a party monster, and I used to be in a circus, so yes.
Another thing you haven't mentioned. And the 5 works really well with how you said you have your own version of yoga, right? The 5 is all about creating your own thing, making your own solutions, being very practical, giving practical solutions, but also making your own thing.
I
So
think I struggle with also creating the plan because my head is so huge with how I want it to be, but then I get overwhelmed with the little details of how to make it all work together. Oh, thank you, Alexandra.
well, okay, so just keep following your spleen, even if it makes no sense. Your spleen knows better than your mind. And I would tackle it by writing it all down.
Okay.
And then when you write down the big picture, you can then see like, then you can reverse engineer from there. It's like, okay, in order to get there, what are all the little steps? And then you can see it written out. And I think intuitively that will just really help you.
So just keep asking my spleen, well, what about this? And then listen.
Yeah, or like, what is the next little step? You can ask your spleen all kinds of questions. Just make sure it answers before your mind sets in.
Okay.
Was this helpful?
Yes, thank you.
You're so welcome. And I put the link to the self-compassion book in the comments, but it's just called Self-Compassion, Stop Beating Yourself Up and Leave Insecurity Behind. And it's by Dr. or PhD Kristin Neff, Kristin. Last name is Neff, Neff, The Proven Power of Being Kind to Yourself. I'm only this much in and it works so good. You just have to do those practices or just, yeah, do them.
Okay.
So safe drive. Keep us posted in the group. I think we all would love to hear how it goes and
Thank you.
enjoy, have fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I almost just ended the Zoom, guys. I was like, okay, click. I feel like we have time for, and I know maybe some of you have to go, or some of you hopped on later, but let me see, just giving my energy a moment of break so that I can check the chat. Yes, there will be a replay. Andrea is writing a lot of insights down. Awesome. Gabrielle also feels the going into hiding. That's me after work. And there's nothing wrong with it, you know, to replenish our energy and to take time for, you know, when we have been around a lot of people that we just come back and like, my daughter's also a projector, my 13-year-old and my mom, and they do the same thing. And I do it sometimes too. When we come back from somewhere, like whether it's she comes back from school or we come back from a shopping trip, bathroom for half an hour. It's like, I feel like that's a projector thing. It would be helpful if you put up the person's chart that you're currently coaching, says Brew. I agree, kind of, but on purpose, I didn't want to do it this way because I have a unique view on human design. I do love charts and I'm a chart nerd, but I prefer to work with the person first and then use the chart as a backup. I find that so much more helpful because human design is all about helping you get into your body and trusting yourself, right? So when we go too much chart focused, I feel like there's too much mind mixed in. So I like to use it as a backup. And it can be really, really helpful. But yeah, that's why I do ask things like, what's your authority or what's your profile sometimes, right? Because that can be really helpful. But yeah, a lot of when we get into, I just love keeping people out of their heads, you know, because we spend so much time in there already. Yeah, but I hear you. I agree on some level. So I hope I say the name right. Suratrinian says this all was already very helpful. Have to go. Okay, rest on the replay. Andrea had to go. I like to say huge thank you. This was wonderful. Leslie had to go. Okay. Excellent. So now we have one more question. Dragan, are you still on or did you have to go? Let me see. Oh, he's here, still here. The funny thing about Dragan, just for you guys, how would you know this? We have been Instagram friends for a while, and he has the same name as my dad. My dad is from Montenegro. I'm from Germany. My mom is German. My dad is from Montenegro. And so my dad is also Dragan. Or as his friends, like you have to tell me, Dragan, unmute yourself.
I did.
They call him,
Hi,
they call him,
Alex.
hi, Dragan. They call him Drago or Dragane. I don't understand all this stuff. What is that
They
about?
do. They do. So basically, Dragan just means someone who is dear.
Mhm.
That's the translation of the name. But as you may guess, like lots of people do call me, especially foreigners, call me Dragon. So yeah, there's that.
It is a very cool name, isn't it?
It is. It is. I like to think so. Thank you.
And Drago also means kind one, right? Or something.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm glad my dad has that name, and I put a lot of I put a lot of meaning into name meanings personally. He has, and my dad is so funny. He never wanted to work. Intuitively, I guess he knew that that was his way of being a projector. He was like, I'm not going to do this 9 to 5 thing. My mom hated him and kicked him out for that because he was really a lazy guy. But over all these years, and he's like mid-70s now, mid to late 70s. He still bikes every day. He does a lot of like physical workouts every day. He's in excellent shape. He does not take one medication. He says, "Oh, Alex, you know that I have way too much time to think about everything. I'm bored so much." So he's basically become a philosopher, you know. So he's a good human, but he wasn't always a good dad. But you know, we learn to forgive, and we know he talks to me about this now too. It's just so funny that now I think through you I understood that the name means dear one, and I was like, okay, that's good that he finally could step into like being a dear one. He still gets grumpy though.
Well, we all do sometimes, don't we? But you know, as I like walked into the Zoom call and everything, I thought, oh my God, like what's gonna happen now? Just a little context for you guys. So the first time I talked to Alex,
Oh God, yeah.
the first time we talked, like 2 days afterwards, I got fired, and it was one of the best things that happened to me. Uh, the second time we had like a little chat or something, I decided to move to another country. So now I'm really like, you know, since this is sort of more face to face, I have no idea what to expect. And that's
When
good, actually.
when was the first time we talked? When was that when you got
Uh, uh, well, more than a year and a half ago, actually.
cool? Well, it sounds
Hmm.
like your life is going in good directions.
Yes, yes. I mean, of course, there are always, you know, lessons and challenges and things you learn and overcome and or maybe rather learn to accept and integrate, but yes, yes.
So how may I support you today?
You already did so much, and I mean everyone that talked, you know, it's like uh you do know I have this Freak to Genius channel. So, you know, it's the pieces of the puzzle have been coming in as the people talked. You know, I was listening to is it okay if I share just a couple of things I saw?
Mhm.
So I was listening to the first lady, Andrea, and she was talking like she wasn't good at marketing. And I was like, holy fuck, how is she not good at marketing? When she started talking about her clients and the emotions and what she does, I was like, that sounds perfect, you know, like I mean that is marketing, not some sleazy things, you know. And with Leslie, you know, like the first time I saw the moment I saw Leslie here, I was like, this woman is so sophisticated, looks so sophisticated, right? And refined and everything, you know, and like it was so interesting. And with Imani, I don't even know like where to start. Like like you are a marvel. You're such a gem and such a I relate to so much of what you said, both in terms of family and, you know, doing different things and like so many things that you mentioned. And thank you so much for sharing that. You
Mhm.
know, and the funny thing was, I'm also splenic, by the way. And the funny thing was, like, you know, one of the business ideas I'm thinking about, my initial question is about a YouTube channel, actually. So that was a nice synchronicity. And you know, I was like, holy fuck, is this happening? Like, you know, like she's talking about the YouTube channel. This one's talking about marketing. It's always interesting to me how these interactions, when you listen to other people, And when you allow yourself to connect to them, how they all hold sort of a key to what you're thinking about as well.
Perfect. And exactly that's why I love doing projector groups or masterminds, because you are just doing what I've seen happen in some of my previous group programs and masterminds when projectors see each other. Like, because like I've gotten better at it, but I still can't see myself as you guys could see me, right? And all the other ways. So when projectors start like giving each other feedback, because we are so like, yes, reflectors are better at it probably, but we are already so good at seeing the gifts and the potential in other people, right?
Absolutely.
And then it's just like like a massive amplifying machine when projectors support one another in a group setting. It's my favorite thing. So thank you.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Like with Imani, for example, what caught my ear was, you know, when you like joined in, when you unmuted yourself, I couldn't really hear you that well, you know, and then you started talking about how you don't feel heard and not reciprocated and all that. And then when you switched into like actually, I think sharing what's in your core, you know, it just touches you so much, like really, really does. And again, thank you for that.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful flow in this call. I love how it's been going. So let's focus on you.
Okay, sure.
What do you think? And thank you for your feedback. I know you are such a kind-hearted person, and I love that you took the moments to share with everyone what you saw from your genius channel, and from your heart, and from your spleen, probably.
Probably.
So, what would you like support with?
So you know, I have two ideas and both of them attract me. So, you know, it's a conflict of like mutual attraction. I am currently working a regular job because, you know, there have been some financial struggles, although like I do have a pretty flexible, like I would say projector friendly lifestyle in that I've been working remotely for the past 7 or 8 years. I tend to change companies when I'm about to burn out, which usually happens every, well, 6 months to a year and a half. So, you know, I feel like I have learned um, um, to give myself rest to a certain degree. But I would also like to move more into something of my own. And that's, well, I'm structuring like ways to do it. It's just that it's hard for me at this moment to decide between two ideas. One of them concerns language learning, which is also my, how would I put this, professional expertise. And I do have ways. I've been in digital marketing. I've been doing like all these digital channels. So I know how to structure that. I know how to reach people in technical sense. And I really feel I have, you know, a methodology that could contribute to people's lives. On the other hand, I do also have this like creative impulse, and I've been writing forever. And I've never finished, like, I have a novel that I've started like 20 years ago, literally, and I've never finished it. And whenever I get to it, I'm in the zone and absolutely nothing else matters. I don't think about how audience will react to it. I don't think about you know, like the financial stuff and all that. I do like when I'm not doing it, but while I'm doing it, while I'm writing, I'm there, you know, I'm in the zone. So I do have a little bit of conundrum because I have to like work on my financial stability at the moment more. And I feel like maybe language learning is a better way to it at the moment. But on the other hand, I'm also very drawn to this, to writing.
Okay. So what?
And by the way, language learning is not something that I hate, abhor, or find difficult or whatever.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I want you to tune into your body when you are talking about these two things.
Okay.
Where are you feeling the language learning?
I would say maybe chest and throat.
Okay, talk about it a little more. What would it be? Like, how would it work? What would you do?
So what I wanted to do is basically create a full-blown English course on YouTube with methodologies that I've picked along the way, which significantly um, they make language learning faster and easier.
Okay.
And
So,
this would also be an opportunity for people who maybe cannot afford. So this is particularly for, at least for now, for the Balkan region. I mean, you know, Serbia, Montenegro, and all that, because not a lot of people can afford it. And I do derive a lot of pleasure thinking about, for example, a cashier being able to learn English language and maybe find a better job and, you know, like just get better life quality out of it.
nice. So where are you feeling that in your body?
The cashier,
No, all of this, what you're just saying.
all of this, I would say mainly here.
Okay. And talk about your book or the writing.
It's just what I love to do. It's like when I do it, you know, it's a moment of a line or an image or whatever that just transports you somewhere else, and you can just, you know, listen to your heart and your thoughts and your experience and put it on paper and, you know, hopefully come up with some great imagery and just the ability to transcribe your soul.
Where are you feeling that in your body?
Oh my God, it's actually I think between the solar plexus and sacral.
Hmm. Okay. So what is what benefit have you gotten out of not finishing your novel?
Oh, well, I think that hmm, hmm, that's a tough one, Alex. Okay. Um, in a way, I think I kept myself safe from being seen.
Hmm. Because what could happen if you were seen?
So this goes back all the way to my high school, where I wanted to actually pursue a certain faculty, like philological faculty, but then I didn't because, well, out of the best intention, my parents forced me to enroll at another faculty. So the economy.
So how did it keep you safe from being seen?
So back then, the main argument was, and actually this thought popped up a few times in my head during the call. So the argument was, you know, like I would enroll at the agricultural faculty because of financial security,
Mhm.
which like, you know, translated would mean that the philological faculty, the English language, and like subsequently writing and everything were not as financially secure.
Mm.
And this is a new realization for me that has just recently actually occurred, you know, that somewhere along the lines, I probably pushed it a little bit deeper, like this subtext.
What do you mean?
I mean, this belief that, you know, the artistic venue is like just hedonism and starving artist, you know, way of living.
What if you were this super gifted century writer?
Okay.
Okay. Do you want
What's the question?
do you want to hear my thoughts on this?
Yes, please. She's
So
gonna crush me in the best way possible. I
no,
already feel it.
this is this is going to be just very grounded, normal life stuff first.
Okay.
The whole financial security thing is real, right? Because we do live in the real world. We have bills to pay. We like that's how the world functions, right? With money. The other side is, and this also ties in a little bit to what I said earlier to Leslie, having a business is doing something for someone else, right? And in a way, so if you're studying, for example, I'm very familiar with John Mayer just because he happens to be one of my favorite musical artists, and he's a generator, but that doesn't matter. He said, and he's been doing this, now he's my age, 46. So I think probably almost 30 years, he's been big. Body is a Wonderland was probably when he was like 17, 18 or whatever, you know? And so he said, first, it was all about him, right? It was all about him creating music. And then after a while, it was like, now I'm just doing it for my fans, right? I do these concerts and I go there and I feel like, I hope you guys like it, right? I want to give you an experience. He creates his albums in a way where he's like, I want to make this an experience. He doesn't necessarily say healing experience, but he knows really well what his art does with people, right? I've cried my heart out to lots of John Mayer songs. So, you know, it is a very healing experience. And that is truly from him following his artistry. So even though he says in the first years of his career, or in the first half, or however long it was just for him, all about him allowing his art to come through and be published was still a healing experience for others, right? So there's no wrong or right, right? So this is where you are going to have to come in. There are different ways of how we can serve the world, right? Just in my experience as a projector, it's most sustainable over time and you see all the comments here in the chat, everyone, and me included, noticed like how you lit up when you talked about writing, right? Like, oh my God, you can't keep the sunshine out of this guy's face when he talks about it, right? But that doesn't make it wrong that you would want to help people with language learning, right? And
yeah,
but the thing is, it's hard to spread yourself thin sometimes, especially when you already have a job. And this is where the wisdom of your authority comes in, because your authority will always guide you towards success. And the thing is with finances or money, like Imani said, like, funnily, whenever I need money, it comes somewhere. And I have the same experience, right? And I feel like if you are in true service to the divine and you're a good human, like, we're always going to be taken care of. But then the thing is about the long-term vision, right? When we want to build something that means so much to us, right? Like who could say, for example, like like Michelangelo, for example, he probably could have gotten paid for being a house builder. Maybe he was,
Right.
I don't know, right? But what he did was so much bigger than that. And now it lives on, right? It's kind of that legacy building. So it's really like what matters to you? How do you want to live your life and what matters to you? And also at this point in your life, right?
Mm.
So now we're going to do the scary thing.
By the way, Clement and Eva, thank you so much, guys. I just saw the comments.
Yeah. Gabrielle says too, comes through when you talk about writing. So do you want to focus, do you just want to focus on one thing next to really focus your energy? Is that what you
I
want?
think, honestly, I think that's most sustainable for the next maybe 6 or 7 months.
Cool.
Mhm.
So before your brain kicks in, what does your spleen say? Language learning or writing?
I would say language learning.
There you go.
I would say language learning.
Is that your spleen?
That's my spleen, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I saw you, Eva.
What did Eva do? Oh, your eyes went up?
Up, like roll. Oh, you think, oh, okay. Maybe, wait.
Like you were thinking. Oh,
You think I was thinking, okay. All right. I don't know. It just kicks in so fast.
hmm.
You know, I try to connect to the body, like to answer the question, but you know, then the whole like structuring thing comes in.
Okay. So drop into your body and give your brain like a 5 minute, you can just chill on the couch session.
Okay.
The shadow side of the spleen wants to talk you out of things and that you really, really want. Your spleen is going to want things for you that you really, really want. And that's going to bring you success. And yeah. Okay, be in your body and let me see if I can ask a different question that makes a little more sense to your spleen. Do you want to finish your novel?
Yes.
There you go. There was no hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you feel that yes?
Right where I felt when I was talking about the novel.
Where is that? In the middle? Yeah.
Between the solar plexus and sacral, actually.
Okay, so human design chart wise, the emotional solar plexus and the spleen are in chakra terms. They are the solar plexus chakra, but split up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense that you're feeling it in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So stay in that area. How did it feel? Not just where did you feel it, but what did you notice about the sensation there?
It just felt like shooting outwards.
Shooting outwards. Perfect. Eva is so amused.
Sort of expanding, let's put it that way and be politically correct.
Okay. So stay in that area of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to focus on language learning?
Mm, no, not the same sensation.
What does that feel like in that area?
It feels like small waves. Like there is something there.
Okay. So what benefit would you have from listening to your spleen and following your creative impulse?
It just feels so invigorating and vital and
Mm.
alive.
And what more benefits come from that?
I actually went through that this summer. I think that you and I talked about it briefly, where, some things happened and for certain reasons, I didn't work as much. And it was just, pardon my French, but so fucking amazing because I think that it's one of the rare instances in my life that I have felt so alive for prolonged periods of time where like well, first of all, you believe you can. That was the first step for me. The second one was like, I was doing things, I was exploring, I was just going out on an adventure every day and doing things I normally wasn't doing in terms of just going places, meeting people, all these things. And it was so different and so beautifully different.
Is that how you want to live your life?
God, yes.
That was a loud spleen, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
What is possible for you when you live your life that way?
Everything and anything.
How expansive does that feel?
You know what? I mean, it does feel expansive, but more like it feels rounded.
Hmm. Okay. What other questions do you have?
How have you been?
It's been a wild ride, man.
Right? Indeed.
It has been crazy, especially the last 3 months, but I'm really proud of myself for handling it. So thanks for asking. Yeah. Does
Good.
this feel good to you?
What?
Your your direction.
I feel like it's getting there. I think that there are still things that, I need to just sort of like not even process, but just, for all of them to find their place.
Mhm.
But, there were like moments during this particular call, like with other people, and now like me talking to you, that were really magical.
Perfect. So if you think about it right now in your life, how percentage-wise, how much time are you allowing yourself to be in that zone that you love so much with writing and everything that comes with it?
Well, I mean, it depends on the day, but usually not that much. I would say maybe more and more, to be fair. But at the moment, maybe 20, 30%, something like that.
And which percentage would you like to get to over the next 6 months?
Uh, hmm. Well, I would like to get to at least 80.
Oh, wow. Does that leave time for eating and sleeping?
That is eating and sleeping.
Oh, perfect. So what would you have to change, or what would you have to give yourself more permission for in order to get it up? What would you have to let go of? What would you have to say no to more? What would you have to drop?
I would say like your everyday distractions, like in terms of social media and stuff like that.
You
I
no
think
longer
that
can watch my stories.
oh, I'm gone. Don't worry. At least telepathically.
Got it. Perfect.
But yeah, I think that, and I also feel like just like creating, I don't know, but I still have this thing where I feel like, at least in the beginning phases, creating a certain container uh in terms of passive income or stuff like that would allow me to, like use more time for writing and not really think about the financial aspect of things, at least not so much.
Perfect.
Because, when I do write, I do need that centeredness.
But see now how you're shifting this into, and this is where it's a long-term process, right? Of like shifting how much time you spend in your zone of genius, not immediately from 20 to 80, right? But you're seeing now how it's a progression of things and what you need to put into place, and where you become more strategic now about the intention of, this is what I want to do. I want to be in it 80% of the time, including eating and sleeping. And this is what I have to put in place for it. So now you're seeing maybe the language learning or your regular job or whatever it is, but maybe the passive income generation with the language learning, or whatever you want to do as a vehicle to support your creativity and your big life mission and what lights you up, as opposed to having to choose between one and the other, right?
Yeah, that's amazing, actually.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yes, indeed.
So is this helpful? Is this what you needed?
Very.
I love this. Excellent. So thanks for guinea pigging, everyone. You guys were doing great. Clement says, I love this meeting. I have an environmental authority. Does that mean you're a mental
Thank you.
projector? You're so welcome, Dragan. Let's say Molim.
Oh, thank you so much.
Ask for help from the universe while feeling this way. Oh, that's a nice trick. I love it. Mental projector. Clement, yeah, that's amazing. And just a quick note on mental projector. I know maybe it was you who asked the question about the mental authority, right? Was it you? Yeah. I just wanna address this really quickly because I have, and here, okay, all of you guys who are still on and everyone who watches the replay to the end, here's my little extra tip. I've got, like, you guys have been with amazing stamina as well. 2.5 hours, look at us go, right? But 2.5 hours of me coaching, and I am still so happy. 63, the gate of whatever it's called, but in the Gene Keys, it's about inquiry is the gift, right? So asking questions is my unconscious sun, which in Gene Keys is my radiance. So look at your radiance gate to know what really fulfills your body, what makes you really well physically, right? And then look at the Gene Keys expression of shadow, gift, and city. So mine is self-doubt. When I'm doubting myself, I feel yucky, like my body is like, well, nothing goes, right? But the more I can go into the state of inquiry, which as a Gemini sun and Jupiter is easy for me, asking questions, being curious, right? So that's really where you find like the synchronicities in the chart and what works together and how to phrase it and make meaning, because we always want to make a meaning. But when I'm asking questions, which is what this is why I could go another hour here, easy, right? Asking questions makes me physically well. right? So what is that? And this is so important for your business, but also for being a projector. Knowing how to take care of your body has a lot to do with your radiance gene key or your unconscious sun. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, if you're newer to human design, in the two strips alongside your chart, there's the one on the left and the one on the right. The left one is the unconscious. It's the top gate, is your unconscious sun. So look at that, and then look that number up in the gene keys, and look what is the it'll just type it in your browser, and it'll show you the shadow, the gift, and the city. If you're really wanting to get into it, the Gene Keys book is amazing. It's life-changing for every archetype you read there. And then or audio booking it, it's amazing. And then contemplate it. Just sit with it for a few weeks, right? And think about it more, like, how can I include more of that in my life, which makes me feel good, right? And this can also often be like a good hint at, this is, I think in human design, they say, I mean, it's definitely part of your incarnation cross, but that position, I think, is also known as your superpower in some pieces. So just as a little hint, this is why I could keep going for so long. So look at yours and share in the group if you want. And then to say about the mental projectoring, yeah, the unconscious side, Eva, because the unconscious side is all about the physical. So that's the conscious sun is what they call your life's work, or in some business contexts, they call it your branding. The conscious sun, it's what you're really like, that's what you're radiating out, right? For me, that's the 35 boundless love. Everything, if you make your decisions from a place of love as opposed to from fear, anything's possible. Life is boundless, right? That's my conscious sun, but my unconscious one is the questions. So see what that is for you and how you can contemplate that more. Then the more you do that, the more radiant you become, because your body is so well. Like it's like when Dragon talks about writing. It's like, ah, ah. So mental projectoring. I just want to say this because it's so important for mental projectors. No, it's called environmental authority, or no inner authority, or a mental authority. It has several names, and it can be confusing because it sounds like you're meant to make decisions with your mental energy or from somewhere outside of you, which both of them, from working with a lot of mental projectors, I don't find true. Your mental gift, your defined ajna, sometimes head, sometimes throat, sometimes the three of them. Okay, whatever it is for you. Your head in ajna, throat in ajna, got it. That is your guiding force for others. That's how you guide others. Your ajna understands concepts in a way that no one else can, because everything else under your throat is undefined. But you're making decisions still with your body. So you're not using your mind or your ajna for decision making. You're using your ajna to guide others, but you're using your body for decision making. So from all the mental projectors that I've worked with, it's always been a variety of what feels expansive in your body, right? And yes, that definitely depends on your environment and who you are around, right? But you will still find over time your own, what is an expansive yes in your body, right? And that can be so confusing also for poor souls like Dragan, who has a splenic authority and the ajna defined, because the ajna can be so loud and strong, right? And it makes so much sense. So learning how to tap into the body for decision making is the secret here for mental projectors. Does this help? Does this answer the question that you didn't ask me?
Yeah, totally. I'm a fitness coach. I used to be an industrial designer. But then I was working a long time. I was very drained. And then I got burned out very extremely. I almost died. So I changed my life. I made a chaos to change everything. Once I realized I was a projector. Oh, I'm not an energetic type. Ooh, what am I doing? So I changed everything. I had no money, nothing, but because I was dying, I needed to feel better. So I said, this is first. I don't care if I'm gonna starve. I'm gonna solve it one way or another, but I want to still be alive. But at that moment, I was thinking, what can I do for making money, but still feeling that I love it? And my whole life, I've done sports. It's like it's like playing for me. And I feel very expansive, happy to see how can I help or guide people to feel better, not only looking better, feeling better, because I have a holistic approach. And I think how I finished my school was when I was very, very sick. I helped myself to get better. So I finished like, it was like my master. I was starting to make my body feels better. So when I do that, I feel really, really happy. But I was asking to myself, is that correct for a non-energetic type? Do something very physical? Because after I can do an hour, 2 hours, or sometimes I actually nowadays I'm working for people who is in a process of detoxifying for a drug using. So I love that because this is about the body, but emotions too, and a mindset. So it's like a very holistic work, and I love it. So sometimes it's heavy because you have energy, very, very low energy. So you're trying to move it to bring you out to your empowerment. So it's sometimes these people don't want to see this. So it's come with me, move like that. So after 2 or 4 hours, I need a nap or I need to stop. But that was a question. Is that correct for me? Still, I feel really happy to do that. The other thing, I was thinking, maybe I'm not charging enough for this because I'm thinking that I'm only giving fitness, but I'm doing a lot way more. So I'm not feeling the income, the fair income. I'm not doing I'm giving up. Sorry, I don't know how to say it. I'm from Colombia and speak Spanish. I speak Spanish, so I'm looking for the word. So I was thinking I'm not making, I'm valuing enough my job. So I'm charging so low. So it doesn't make me feel as expansive as I feel when I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I have thoughts on this. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, please.
Okay. So first of all other projectors who are not mental, don't feel bad after this or like you're less than. I just feel like the rules that apply for other projectors in many cases do not apply to mental projectors, right? Because you almost are a little more like reflectors with a defined ajna. Because so many mental projectors, because of the openness, complete openness in their bodies, have had to go through an intense healing journey because of, not listening. And here's the thing, well, one of my, I will put her her thing in the chat for you so you can see her Instagram profile. So I do, I also have a Healy team. For those of you who don't know, it's electronic, I have only the big one here.
I know.
Electronic device. It's also a network marketing thing. And so this is how I've added passive income or reoccurring revenue, or however you want to call it, to my business. So not my direct sponsor, who's my dear friend and a fellow projector, but her two up from her. So we still get a lot of trainings from her and support from her. She's also a mental projector, and she had 17 years of fibromyalgia. You probably know what that is, right? She did everything she could to try and heal it, but then finally the Healy had helped her. So she is a mental projector, and she does only what she wants, right? And she has come through to this empowerment. And just if it's helpful for her, I'm putting her Instagram in the comments so you can check her out and see what she's about, because it's so beautiful. Also, the thing about reflectors, this is the thing where, and for those of you who have a lot of defined centers in your chart, your definition is something that you can always count on, right? Your defined centers. For those of you who have a lot of openness in your chart, all of your open centers, and I heard this in a Healy human design training, interestingly, from one of our upper ladies, she refers to them as God centers. So if we clean them out, you can funnel as much energy through them as you freaking want, right? You still have to listen to your body and say, like, if you're tired, you rest, right? Or the thing that you have of feeling like you need a nap when you work with people, that is because you're working with people who you have to drag along. And this comes, were you in the early times of the call today? Were you early on?
I'm in a clinic, cleaning.
No, I was talking about the marketing when when we're talking to the people who are so associated to the problem and who you kind of have to convince, and you work with those.
Now I started on June to
Mhm.
create this idea of fitness, because I'm not doing the normal fitness. I'm creating something different. So I started on June to put these ideas out of my body. And in October, I started in October just in a clinic. And so the people started to realize, oh, she's good at it. Can you go to this patient? So I'm just doing this mouth to mouth. I don't know how to call this.
No, perfect. Yeah.
So people is talking about with this kind of training, and that's how I'm getting a link.
See, they're seeing you and they're seeing your genius.
Yeah, so I was, okay, this is how people sees me. So sometimes you are thinking too much as a mental projector. And there is a lot of disinformation about human design, what you can and what you cannot as a projector. And
Don't ever listen to that unless you find it empowering.
yeah, and I'm a 5'1", so I
I was
say,
going to say, are you a 5-line? Because you're creating your own thing as well.
yeah, and I say I was feeling to, I'm here to challenge. Even I don't care if it was Raul who, I don't care if it is my human design teacher. I feel great when I move my body, and there is something different when I'm moving. People want to move the same, so I'm moving the neurons, the mirror neurons. So this is great. Why can't?
One of my previous, from a couple of years ago, she took one of my programs. She's a mental projector and she's a dance coach. She loves dancing like nothing else. It's her expression.
Is the body moving?
Yeah.
Really?
And this is all the centers in your body that you have undefined are the centers you are meant to be wise about. So you have just through your journey have had to become really, really wise about the body. And all the mental projectors that I know, it's really, really hard for me to feel them, interestingly enough, because I think it's because there is no definition in the body. So I can't feel them, but then you have to see them for their genius, right? And the genius lies in the ajna, in the processes, and then in your case, like, oh my God, you can see things in a way that nobody else can, combined with all the wisdom of your God centers in the body and what you made of it, and then being a 5-line and a 1, so studying a lot also, but also the being very practical about it and creating your own way of doing things.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Keeping the things more practice than ever. And I think this started on October, so I got like nothing like 3 months doing this idea. So yes, it was all the time I'm feeling like an inner feeling to come on and talk about this to the world.
Then do
So
it.
same as Emily, I was feeling her a lot because it's an inner voice saying, yeah, not yet, not yet. You need to get ready for it. Study a little bit more. You need to understand much better the body. So when she was talking, I was feeling, okay, it's a process. Maybe not now. It just started. Keep having the experience. You know, the mind is very, very tricky. It tells you. So I was just feeling, okay, chilling, enjoy it, keep in this, having the feedback from the others' bodies and get ready for it. But it's a process. Don't push yourself too hard.
I personally feel that you have a very strong connection to your own inner voice and your inner path, and that you know yourself well enough to know what's the right thing for you. That's what it sounds like to me. And then of course your mind or other people or whatever, they'll like, there's always someone throwing stones in your direction, right? But for you it's just like keep listening to what feels good to me, like what do I want to do, what feels strong in my body as a yes, right? And then I feel like you have a very strong sense of that and just keeping rolling with that.
All right. Thank you. I just love this meeting. And thank you, Dragon.
You ground thoughts into physical. I love it. It's so nice. Oh man, I want to hug this whole meeting so much. Was this helpful, Clement?
A lot. I was getting crazy with all these questions into my head. Questions, and I had no one else to. Can you, because you go and ask to another person and they're gonna give you their point of view and it's immediately is not my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, oh yeah, I was in a house with all these voices and you get lost.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it was really helpful. Thank you very much. I'm smiling from my chest.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
My G center.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. I'm glad you felt supported and got what you needed. So perfect.
They said, I'm happy to be able to explain it. It happens sometimes. Dragon, thank you for giving me that feedback. I have the 4323. Sometimes I don't speak very clear, so people is, she's saying.
The right people will understand you.
Thank you.
And also focus on the 23, Gene Key's gift of simplicity.
Right.
Because the shadow of the 23 is complexity and it always wants to make things very complicated.
Yeah.
So focus on your simplicity.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. I'm just going to we are going to wrap this up now. Look at how many people are still here. You guys are champions. Thanks for helping me along with your energy, with your questions, with your support of one another, with being willing to open your heart so wide to yourself and to all of us, to the world, to your service. And I'm so grateful that that you came on and did this with me today. I love doing these once in a while. Just I can't always as often as I ideally would want to, just because my days in the week for calls are counted. But know that in my heart, I'm here with you. This was an amazing transformation that we all went through together, and I hope it was hugely helpful to each one of you. And I'm wrapping this meeting in my heart, and I'm wrapping all of you in my heart. You guys are awesome. Thank you for allowing me to support you. And please, if you want to share any learnings in the Facebook group from what's come through today, or what has shifted for you from hearing someone else, or what has shifted for you going forward. I always love keeping track of that. I still, from a couple of years ago, I have still people following up on, you know, what happened in our call from a while ago. So I love this stuff so much. This is not why I live, but this is also why I live. I love doing this stuff. So thanks for being here. Have an amazing holiday season, amazing, wonderful, heartfelt celebrations with your family and friends, or in your new environments, making new family and friends, soul family. And know that the Facebook group is always here for you as well, for asking for support or guidance. And I will send a recording of this call out to whoever signed up for it. And I will see you on the internet soon. And I'm sending you so much love. Happy December. Bye.